Alright, another addition to the XKA engine rebuild video. I obtained these magnets, I believe from Eastwood. This one, I'm afraid, is a little beaten up. But these are absolutely perfect for sorting out the shims. Why? Because they're bloody strong. Then you place your shim on top that you need to bring down to a certain size, and then using the Dremel I'll go across in one direction, then go across in another direction until I achieve the required thickness. Now you've got to be careful when you're doing this. You can't do it ham and fist, you've got to think about what you're doing. And then once this is done, then you need to temper the steel, otherwise it'll just get squished and your engine will start running like shit. So my next phase, once I've got this down to the level I need, and in fact I'll show you that, but my battery's running out. God damn it, Muskie. So once I charge up my battery, I'll show you me bringing this down to the level I want, and then I'll show you me retempering it. It's not the perfect way to do it, but when you're a home guy, this is what you do. Alright, this is one of the shims I need to get down to 80 thousandths of an inch. Now, the method I'm using is not the preferred method, shall we say. And as I mentioned previously, this magnet, I think it was from Eastwood. They're extremely strong magnets. And then in my case, I get out a good old Dremel tool and I just skim backwards and forwards in different directions until I get it down to the thousandth of an inch that I need. So I am wearing eye protection, which you can't see, and I will now start to grind this down and then measure it. If it takes too long, then I'll stop until I've got it to the level I need, and then I'll show you how to case harden it. But this is what I do. So I go that way, then change direction. Now I'm really not worried too much about the edges. The middle, where the valve stem meets, is where I'm really concerned, and that will also apply to the case hardening. Now the only problem with all of this is that when you do this, things get fucking hot. So now when I go to touch this to measure its thickness, it's going to burn my ass fingers, and I don't like it. So I may let it cool down for a little bit first before I measure it. And obviously this is not something you can rush. You need to do a little bit, measure it, do a little bit, measure it. Now this started off as an 85,000 shim. I want to get it down to an 80. So I've got to take 5 thousandths of an inch off. And who knows how much I've taken off. And if you can guess, you get a brownie point. And you will find out in the next section of this video as to who has won the brownie point. If you guessed 81.2, in other words 81 really 0.2, 81 thousandths of an inch down from an 85, you've earned yourself a brownie point. Go and find yourself a brownie and collect her. Oh, that's probably not allowed, is it? Go find a Girl Scout? Is that allowed? No, that's probably not allowed either. Oh well, go find yourself a beer. And I don't mean Coors or Bud or any of those. I mean a real proper beer. Alright. So I need to get another 1 thousandths off of this, and then I'll show you how to temper it down. I've now got this down to 79, 75. That's fine. It's a little further than I needed, but that's not going to be a problem. It's always better to have a wider gap than a lesser gap. So now, let us move over here, and I'll show you what we need to do to harden it. Grab your trusty torch and heat this thing to cherry red. Or at least red. I love the change of colours on this. I love the way this changes. But maybe I'm just fucking weird. Now the main area that I'm concerned about is the centre, because that's where the valve meets the bucket. So we want to make sure that that gets nice and red. Where you're, like in my case, the pliers are holding it, it's not going to get as red. Now here in front of me I have a jar full of engine oil. That's what you need to do to quench it and to case harden it. Here we go. Look at that. Ooh, and the smell is gorgeous. Whew. Now that has hardened it, and be careful not to burn yourself on those pliers like I've done many a time. Swirl it around a little bit. Now let's go get me a I was going to say a magnifying glass. What a prick. Magnet. And don't you love it? Look at the way it comes out. Oh, black. Oh, lovely and black. Blick, blick, blick. Oh, yeah, it's blick. It's really blick. What was that? Oh, that was a South African accent. Because they're blick. And that's great. And it's not prejudice, guys. It's just a thing. It's what it is. There she goes. Look at that. Nicely hardened. And the correct size. Ready to go in. And we'll pop her in there. Oops. Oh, that was the... yeah, that was my test... had me worried for a second there. That was my test shim that was in there. That was the A. That was the 85. Made me go my poopy pants. Alright, so now I have changed all of these. So now the next thing for me to do is put the camshaft in. Check everything is where I want it to be. If it is, I do a hoopy hoopy dance. And I haven't got a clue what that is. I'm just an idiot. Alright, so all done. Camshaft in. Caps, get the caps on. Torque it down. And check the clearance.